I'll go on video in a second. Oh,
Yeah,
you want to fucking recording?
they gave me this sick headshot.
Damn, dude, it's 76 in Atascadero right now.
Yeah, dude. It was like 90 today, 90 plus.
Like 10 degrees hotter there than here.
Yeah. Not always, but often it gets like 10 to 15 degrees hotter. Better than when I'm at work. And let's see, what was Paso?
Paso is probably terrible.
You're probably
77 right now, 95.
Yeah, 95. It's cooling down a little bit. It's cooling down. It's not in the hundreds. It was like in the hundreds for the last like 2 weeks.
I have this big ass fan that I put in the window of the guest room, and it kind of cools down the back of the house. But every morning there's like dead bugs like stuck to the screen because it sucks all the bugs against the screen.
none of us have AC, huh?
I do.
Paul does.
It's
You
70
have to have
here.
AC up.
What?
I'm cooler than Slow, actually.
You have to have AC up here. Otherwise, we'd die.
Did your house have it when you got it?
Yeah. It actually had a brand new AC unit put in that was really nice. So it works really well, but it still just gets hot. It's just expensive.
You
I
were
think
talking
Cameron's
about
actually
some,
hotter
like,
than Slow.
negative air fan or something. That's the new
The
high
like the
thing.
heat pump or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be legit.
They're supposed to be good, but they're expensive. Weren't you looking at one, Trevor?
Yeah, so I got quoted for an AC unit and new ducting, and it was like $20,000.
Fuck.
I feel like I could do the ducting though, but I obviously can't install an AC unit.
Yeah.
No, hell no. People train their whole lives for that.
They actually HVAC people get paid really well because one, it's a very specialized profession, and two, it's hot as balls to be up in ducts, and sometimes it's like really skinny.
Yeah, the guy that
But
came by was like
honestly,
super small.
yeah,
I want wherever I'm working to have AC, not me trying to build one there. Uh,
your work doesn't have AC.
it better fucking have AC or else I'm not gonna work there.
Probably does, but you're in Ventura anyway. I don't think Ventura ever needs AC.
But most like industrial buildings have AC.
I'm having the exact opposite problem where picture like a gas station around you at all times where you can just go and grab stuff, whatever kind of snacks. That's like what we have is that kind of drinks, snacks, all available to us. And it's like, dude, you're gonna get fat so easily if you don't manage yourself. Like you'll just be grabbing Oreos and
Why don't you steal the snacks and bring them home anyway?
well, I
Fill
got
the whole
these.
backpack with them.
These are pretty bomb, but
Dude, Megan
I
did the
like
same shit. To
I
fill her
like
backpack with all the
the
work snacks.
yeah.
she's got a bunch too.
She used to at the old place. Now she just works from home.
It's hard to I try to eat just like protein bar things, but there's so much in there that's just crap food. You gain like 20 pounds or whatever, like the freshman 20, they call it, but just at work.
It never happened to me.
Well, you were living on campus, right?
Yeah. But they still give you like a meal card.
You have a cafeteria, huh?
Yeah, but you have to put money on it. This doesn't just like load money.
Oh yeah, but you still eat whatever you want.
It gets expensive though.
It's not like you have to eat healthy food.
No, but my mom ended it when I was going to poly. My mom loaded money on my card all the time because most of the time that was the only way I'd eat if she put money on.
Yeah.
I did the same thing, and I remember just going to the little snack shacks on campus and getting a bunch of fast breaks, those Reese's fast breaks. So good.
Weren't you going to Seasucky one time? I remember like visiting you.
No. Well, no, that's where I took
I
my,
think your girlfriend or something.
yeah, that was after I came back from Chico, like the first year back.
Yeah.
She lived out there. I think I played Nazi zombies with you out there.
I just remember when you said cafeteria, I remembered being out there with you.
Yeah, because she worked there, and then I was like,
Oh, that's what it
get
was.
beers and stuff. It was kind of in the village off the main campus a little bit, but they still had like a lot of campusy type features, and one of them was this little village kind of market that had a pub built into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Channel Islands is nice. That's why I was like, yeah, basically living out there. But I went to a bunch of JCs also, like Moore Park, Butte, the college that
You
Aaron,
went to Moore Park?
yeah, with Chris. I would talk shit to him, but he didn't hear. But
When did you go to Moore Park? Did you transfer to Chico or did you go straight to Chico?
I did a summer semester there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I went straight
I
to
did too. I took some classes in Moore Park, I think, during summer.
me and Nelly were in the same class.
It's funny. It's the one college I didn't go to. I went to Ventura. But I also lived in Ventura, so it was made way more sense to go there. I also worked and lived in Ventura.
Yeah. Such a pretty dog movie.
Speaking of the devil, where's that guy?
He saw my text, but he didn't respond.
Probably having a fight with Dominique.
Rat bastard.
Probably young, Jewish.
That's crazy. She's got 3 kids, right?
Yeah, we went over there and walked.
Yeah,
And
you got 3 kids, and one of them's like 12 or something. 10, 12.
yeah, the oldest is a girl. And
That's
then
crazy. And she's only 30. Wait,
it
she's
is
30 or our age?
I think she's like a year younger than us or something.
Yeah, she's like 1 or 2, I think, something like that. But she's a little bit younger than us.
She's a 12-year-old.
Live
I
life
think
fast.
10.
So she had kids when she was 20.
She lives
Roughly.
she lives down by Chris McLaren's old house. Nice ass house. Very new. Pretty
Yeah,
new.
but
Doesn't she like own it or something?
Uncle grandpa.
Oh, right. Her grandpa owns it, but she pays him like low rent or whatever.
And then she'll inherit it, I guess.
That's cool.
I feel like this is freaking. Did you ever watch Harriet the Spy? I feel like by making these episodes, we're just like writing the little spy book that Harriet wrote. And then one day, if they ever come out, all the kids in the class are gonna be mad at me, like they were for her in the movie.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like an old Nickelodeon movie.
Oh, Nickelodeon. Was it like a cartoon?
It has like Rosie O'Donnell in it, I think. It's like an obscure fucking. It's not a cartoon. It's live action with people, but yeah, it's a random obscure Nickelodeon movie. Kind of like Matilda, just like a random kid movie from the past. Some people will have seen it, some won't. You've seen Matilda, right?
But I feel like everybody's seen Matilda, of course.
Yeah, Matilda's pretty common. With the fucking Spike room, the Spike dungeon punishment room.
Mhm. And the kid that ate cake, little fatty.
Shit is so good though. Dude, I wish I had that cake right now.
Make you finish it, you fat ass.
Trevor has been taking me down nostalgia lane with the post on Insta these days. That little laser tag game that he just posted.
Yeah, dude. That stuff was cool, but like Laser Star, that was badass. I would go play Laser Star right now.
It was so cool how they gave you your scorecard and all the stats were all detailed out and everything, your accuracy, like
Yeah.
live action video game.
Dude.
Have you gone to one at all? They changed it up now. It's like,
They still have them?
yeah, but they know they're competing with pretty damn good video games. Like they know they got to step up their game in order to get people to come. And so what they've done, dude, is I went to one in Moore Park and they've upped it to where you get kill streaks like Call of Duty, dude. Like get 3 kills, now all of a sudden you got like unlimited ammo or like
Huh.
fast reload, or they'll start giving you abilities if you're on a streak. Kind of makes it more entertaining.
They should have the Halo voice. Double kill, triple kill, kill-tacular.
Oh, dude, if they made one that was just like Halo, straight up Halo themed, people would go to that shit.
That'd be sick. Imagine if they like had it so everybody was on just a little bit of like bungee or something, so you could kind of float like in Halo, just like jump like 8 feet in the air.
Yeah, I mean they bring to life stuff from movies or games all the time. Like you see the from Forrest Gump, they made a restaurant out of the restaurant in that movie, or Bubba Gump's or whatever. It's like
Yeah,
why not bring that to life from the game and just
I'd play Halo live action.
and they make a whole Mario world in kids theme parks and stuff. They should make a Halo world or something. But that was crazy, his video that he posted of the guy's wife like dying on in Walt Disney, and they just have something in fine print that says she can't sue.
Yeah, it's not even like he signed a waiver when he went into the park. It was like they signed up for a video subscription service, and somehow you can't sue them. Like, what the fuck? That's not even related.
I forget what kind of lingo they use, but it's something about the wording in the fine print. And they're not the first ones I've heard that tried to do that too. It's other corporations have tried to do that kind of shit.
It's like when you get a job. I just had to sign one where it's just arbitration, where you agree, once you sign, you agree to arbitration, which means like you'll just sit down with them and talk like with a mediator and talk it out, and you're not allowed to sue.
Yeah, you handle it just one-on-one on the side.
Which is like, okay, you still, what do you do as the husband? You still just request like $100 million or what? And they're like, no, we'll give you like a free season pass or something. We'll give you lifetime subscription for free to Disney Plus.
Just on the spinning cup ride. That's the only one you can go on, but you can come every day. Like limit you to certain rides.
Free fast passes.
Only on the swings.
You get a cut in line every time.
Uh,
One free corn dog with purchase of an entry to the park.
I feel like that would be so weird for just a grieving husband to go in there and ask for a dollar amount. I feel like that's always what the defending side gives them, even though it's not really going to bring back their wife.
No, I feel like, so obviously in the beginning it's at least to cover, like the funeral and like health insurance or whatever, I don't know, whatever costs are associated with her dying. But then after that, that's when you need a lawyer to like prove like emotional damage and all that type of shit. I don't know. My dad was like, when like that door flew off of the plane and
Yeah.
it sued the plane, and my dad was like, really? Can you believe that? Those people suing the plane? Wouldn't you just be happy to be alive? I'm like, hell no, I'd sue the fuck out of them.
Yeah, there's people being litigious for way less than that.
Yeah, like that's a huge thing. One, yeah, I might as well get a payday because they fucked up big time. But two, even more than that, honestly, it would be about the fact that like if you don't sue them and make them pay out millions upon millions of dollars, they have no like reason to actually fix their product.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be used as a deterrent to make such a shitty product.
Yeah, there's got to be a bottom line.
Yeah.
It's not just as long as you get me to my destination. There's got to be like we need to get there safely with no threat of anyone falling out of the fucking airplane.
Yeah, like could you imagine if like people's phones got sucked out? Could you imagine if you like had your baby in your hands and your baby just got sucked out of the window?
Oh
Like
God.
that'd be insane. I think about shit like that now as a dad. It's like well, what if it was my kid or something? You know, like you'll see once you have a kid, it's like I don't know. You're like your mindset changes.
Yeah, they're lucky that shit didn't happen.
Yeah, they are very lucky that nobody got hurt. They are super lucky.
Yeah, I'm going to be flying with my kid at 2 months old, actually. I was looking to see what like the youngest age is, and they really don't say. Sounds like you're allowed to pretty much bring, I mean, maybe like less than 1 month, and you might be, but yeah, we're gonna have a 2 month old fly to Utah, so it'll just be a short flight.
Why are you going to Utah? You going to see Cameron or something?
No, Jess' brother lives up there, so her family and me and her are gonna go up there for Christmas. It's also where
Is,
Olas lives.
okay. Is her brother Mormon?
Nope. He got a job for one of the Westinghouse subsidiaries as a computer engineer recently, or past couple of years, and moved out there. Got a place, and that was straight out of college.
Nice. Did Olhas turn Mormon yet?
Fuck no.
That's the only way he's gonna meet a girl out there.
Fuck no. He's too Mexican to be Mormon.
He's also too old. They get married at like 19.
Yeah, dude. I think that's been one of his like whenever he sees some girls out there, it's like they're all taken at a super young age. They're just dibbed.
Yeah, dude. He's like twice the age of like the perfect prospect. The 34, yeah, 17. That's like 1 year before marriage. That's when they get, that's when you gotta lock it down.
They start their life so quick out there, but it's like it's kind of yours for the taking because it's not such high demand out there as California. There's a lot of, I mean, the Mars boys, Cameron and Nick, or Nick, I know at least, built his house from the ground up. He like bought the plot of land and just basically built the house on the land, and when it was done, went and moved in, and it was way more affordable for him. I'm sure it was like 300K or something.
Yeah. I like want to demolish my entire house, just like lay it flat and then like get a printed house.
What up, Johnny?
How's it going? You hear me?
Yo, it's like a Zoom call, not really a podcast. Maybe down the line we'll make this a podcast, but yeah, we've just been hopping on here, talking, chatting for like an hour each week.
Yeah. Is my video on? Am I on video and stuff too, or
No.
what?
No, it just shows your name.
Oh, okay.
Where'd Trevor go?
You know how to turn your video on?
Me? Yeah, I have no idea.
Dude, look at all my freaking. I had my baby shower over the weekend, and I'm just like surrounded by all these baby stuff. Fucking barely have enough room in here to work.
It'll all be put to use soon. You'll run out of diapers and wipes within the first like 2 months.
Yeah, dude. You guys need to let me know.
Do you see me now?
Johnny, do you have
Yeah.
one or two kids?
I have two boys now.
Oh yeah, you guys both have two boys actually.
Yeah.
Are you on a computer? Maybe you're like
No, I'm just on my phone. I was messing around with some stuff. And I was just trying to figure out what's going on. It's probably like a settings thing, but because I just downloaded the app, so it probably doesn't have access to.
to your camera.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Right there. How you doing?
Dude's freaking global out here.
Yeah. Just doing the background.
Clear that shit.
Yeah, I've been playing Magic, dude. I was trying to build a deck right now.
Oh god damn.
Don't start. It kind of just spiral, I got my like deck box. I just started, so I have no idea what I'm doing. But I mean, there's a bunch of keywords and stuff like hexproof. You kind of got to learn them,
You got to get Sue out here. Sue will get you some good cards. I'm sure he's got all the collectibles.
Yeah, I never thought I always stayed away from Magic, dude. I was like, it's so dumb, but it's actually pretty fun. It's more like getting together with people, kind of drinking beers and hanging out and stuff.
They got
slinging
storefronts.
spells
Like,
and stuff, you know?
there's some storefronts down the street or like in Old Town here where people will
Yeah.
go and you can actually hang out, and they're meant for like card games, gatherings, and
Yeah, we have one place in town. I always wondered how it stayed in business. It's been there since I was a kid, and I was like you drive by and you're like, how the hell is that card store like always open? And then people just go in there and play Magic, but I don't go in there. They're like super grungy and stuff like that, you know, like people that don't shower and stuff, you know. So
must be a
I,
fucking good game.
I'm
These people are
playing,
throwing their life
I am playing,
over.
I am playing with people and they smell like butthole, you know. So
Gee, oh, hey, it goes all weekend, 48 hours straight.
Yeah, dude, these guys. Yeah, that'll be you in no time. You'll be sucked in.
yeah, I kind of wish I never started, but yeah, it's pretty fun. It's kind of fun. Um, it's a lot of like reading, and I work in government, so there's like a lot of keywords, you know, like you could read legal definitions and stuff, you know, like so like you read like we do food and ag code, like business and professions code, and you could read a law and not understand it. You could just go to the legal definitions and it changes your entire view of like what everything means, you know what I mean? Like, but that's what lawyers and judges, they kind of just review legal definitions and then read the actual law and stuff, you know. So I
Those
kind of want to
are-
go in. I've been thinking about going into law, but it's just like do I want to do like 4 years, another 4 years of school, you know? Like do it all online, you know? But
Oh, it's
have
one of
you
the
seen that?
hardest things you can go into. It's super hard.
Yeah. And have you seen like Better Call Saul and stuff where he went
Yeah.
through, he's like some phony like online school or whatever, and his brother like never accepts him, you know. But that's all I would want to do is like an online course, you know. But I
Can't
want to
you?
do like Ivy League fucking school or whatever. But you know,
You can pass the bar in like different states. Then you can't really practice in the state you're in unless you pass that bar, I think. But can't you just like pass somewhere and be like, I'm a lawyer?
I don't know. But could I do practice in California? Probably not.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. But if you want to be a lawyer, you can go to like Alaska and they probably have like
Oh yeah, California is retarded. Like we just keep getting more stupid laws, like after stupid laws, you know. But some of it just doesn't make sense, you know. And
yeah.
it's like, why are we going the route we're going? But it's and everyone I know just is totally. You guys are in like a more city area, you know what I mean? But everybody I know around here just like, well, they just hate like Democrats and love Trump and you
Where are
know
you?
none of the. I'm kind of by Sacramento.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why. You're a
So
little like North Valley area.
yeah, yeah, we're like red, red country over here, you know. So you guys are all socialists and free loving hippies and and queer, right?
Yep.
Anyways, just messing, but
Yeah, when I went up to Chico, I wasn't prepared for it. I was like, where's all the skateboarders? There's no fucking skateboarders in this town, and everyone wears goddamn cowboy boots.
yeah, and it's actually dead like during when school's not in session, it's like nothing. It's like ghost town, you know. But then when it's in school, it's like crazy, you know, and let's party and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, it's fun.
I don't
You
know
had
if
to go, didn't you
slow
go like back to school and stuff, or what did you do?
for Chico.
Yeah,
I mean, you could pretty much just walk everywhere. What'd you say, back to school?
you had to go back, right? Or and
No,
finish it.
I did online class. I never went back to Chico, but I did online upper course finance through like UCSB, UCLA extension, and that one in Utah, BYU extension. I did classes just online. Got
Yeah.
I didn't realize you did UCLA.
it's the
Are you guys
extension, so it's a
are
little
you guys
step ahead.
all trade desk or what?
No, they don't work with me.
Oh,
No.
okay. Okay.
I live in Slow County. I live in Atascadero.
Oh, nice.
So
What do you do? Are you finance too, or what?
No, I work in a wine laboratory.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
wine industry.
Yeah, I heard that's like going through a hard reset. Freaking prices are crashing and all that stuff now. Or
Overall, it is, but my company's been expanding and doing so well. We're like the number one, like fastest growing wine company. So we've been,
yeah,
but overall, the industry is taking a hit. Yeah, because all the seltzers, for one.
I think that's it. Because like my boss, like we had some weird stuff going on with grapes where we found I forget what we found, but like it was pretty crazy where we couldn't certify their crop anymore,
Oh,
for export. And like we were talking with people like Napa who grows grapes, and they're like, I don't know what's going on, but like this industry is going through a hard reset, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, that would maybe explain it. Everyone I know is kind of drinking like seltzers and stuff like that, maybe less wine and stuff. So
So wine tends to be like kind of an older crowd, and a couple
they're
things.
dying.
The seltzers are taking like have taken like I think like a 15 or 20% market share of like the entire industry, but
Right.
general is also going down because of the young generation. They're just like anti-alcohol. Like Gen Z is like, no, it's bad for you, and so like everything's taking a hit.
Yeah, that's how my sister is. She don't really drink and stuff, but
Yeah, it's
she's kind of like Gen Z.
yeah. I mean, I
Really.
get alcohol is like not great for you, but at the same time, it's like everybody up until this generation has just been like, yeah, like back in the day, they used to drink alcohol because it was the only way to not get like diseases from dirty water, you know?
Right. It's actually like medicine, dude. Clean
Yeah,
water, right? Because they actually brewed it, stuff
Well, you
like
don't
yeah,
need
that.
everyone to get shit faced for you to make a profit. You can do well
no,
off just a few people drinking one glass of wine, and you'll be
yeah.
fine.
And
Yeah.
most in,
Yeah,
in the
wine sneaks up on you, man. Like
oh,
that's like you could have two glasses and then be, shit faced drunk, on accident, the first time I drank wine, like I was at my grandma's when I first met Skyla, and I didn't have that many glasses, and I ended up on the bathroom floor, I was just kind of laying on the bathroom floor. It's like, man, that stuff comes up and bites you in the ass, but it's like 15% or something, isn't it? Or
yeah, it depends on the wine. A lot of whites are in the more like 11 to 12 range, maybe 13. Reds
yeah,
tend to 14, 15. But again, depends on the wine varietal, depends on the brand, you know.
right.
But yeah, 15%. What's that like? Three times the average like beer, 5%.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be way stronger than beer.
You
Yeah.
guys got
You
me wanting a seltzer now.
you make all of them, Paul, as white, red wine?
White, red, blush, so like rosé. Yeah. I work with all of them, yeah.
Are you actually inspecting the grapes, Johnny, at any of these places, or do they have them up there?
Yeah, it depends. We do a lot of export, so we kind of it depends on where it's going, like people don't want certain things. But yeah, we found a great block that was infested with gallstone and or what is it? Crown gall. Sorry, I don't know why I said the gallstone, crown gall, and that's like there's no treatment method for it. Like you just gotta
Is that like a virus or
yeah, you just gotta cut it out and burn, and they didn't want to burn. And like usually the state doesn't really do too much stuff, but they came out and helped us cut, and take samples and send it to the lab, and it was all coming up positive for so we had to like get rid of their um their clean everyone has a clean nursery stock certificate, and people want to see that when it's exported,
yeah.
so it just kind of they can still do it if they agree on it, but it's kind of it's a more it's harder. It just becomes harder to sell the crop and stuff like that. But yeah, the grape industry is You know, there's also Pearson's disease. You know, it comes from the glass-wing sharpshooter, and there's no cure for that either. So I mean, there's a few pests that just once you get it, you know, but that's why it's got to be clean at the nursery, right? Where they grow the stock. So that's kind of what we check for, is make sure everything's like clean, you know, clean and pests and all that stuff, you know. And it's everything though. Walnuts going to China, like certain countries want certain things done to those crops. So we'll do that, you know. But we do a lot of different stuff, you know. We just got some raises though. I feel like they're finally paying us for what, you know, as much as we do and stuff. But where's your buddy? He's off or what?
He
Trevor
left.
was off. I mean, he was silent for fucking 15 minutes.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
probably and said "fuck this" or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck, truly sounds good right now.
Yeah, I got a Truly right now. That's what Skylar drinks, but I didn't have nothing in there, so I just grabbed it. But yeah, what's new with you, dude? You just had your kid, or is it on the way, or what?
On the way, yeah, October, so coming up pretty quick here. She's in her 3rd trimester.
Nice.
Yeah, first kid.
Yeah, just wait, man. They're kind of hard at first, but then they get easier once you get them potty trained. And you know, like my oldest is easy to watch, you know. And then Cade at first was pain. He cried the most, you know. He's like a devil baby, but he's better now. Once they start playing, you know, like almost like a year, or you know, 6-7 months, they'll start playing more, you know, and it's easier to just kind of let them go. But yeah.
Do you and
They
Skylar
always-
have offset schedules? Do you take them to the grandparents at all, or?
But my mom gets them like Mondays and Fridays, and then I watch them Sundays, and then just kind of, yeah. My mom does 2 days. She works 3 days a week, so we kind of have to mix and max and all that stuff. But your buddy leave now too, or what?
It's camera off, I'm guessing.
No, I'm here. I just have to clean up something real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live like right down the street from my parents. They're gonna be a big help for sure.
Mhm.
Because we're both full-time 9-to-5ers, and just there's really no way you could watch the kid and just be doing that. So fuck.
Yeah.
I need
So
that.
are you gonna put this on like a podcast, or what are you doing?
No, I mean, we're still, I don't even know. We can't really hold it down without pauses and stay on topic, or there's certain things a podcast needs to have, like someone will need to like kick in a new subject if things kind of deviate.
Right.
I don't know
You
how to
need
do
a
a
good,
fucking podcast, dude.
you need a good narrator, you know?
Yeah, Chris helps. Chris and Paul go and talk without any pauses. You and Chris go together really well. But I think me and Trevor kind of struggle a little bit more. Like we'll have dead end conversations or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of gotta like pick a topic and then maybe research a topic, and then you'll have more to say about it, plus kind of stay on topic, I guess. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know how like um you know, sketched out all these podcasts are, you know. I've never really done one, but that's what
We
I would think,
have
you
a
know.
full plan. We just kind of were like, let's do something and let's just hang out talking for an hour and shoot the shit. And last time Eddie's like, I came prepared, bust out like a spelling bee quiz. Oh my god, that was interesting.
This time I'm like, I gotta guess, Johnny.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, we were freaking messaging each other last night. I'm like, holy shit. Like, we'll be up to my stock will be up. And then next thing you know, we're being hit by some fucking Japanese market crash. And I'm like, I don't see that shit every day. Like that came out of fucking left field. Like I think I'm at the top of my world, and then I'll be at the top of my world, and then fucking Johnny will message me, I'm shorting your stock tomorrow. And I'm like, oh fucking good God.
Well, that's kind of how it is. Like when you're usually high on your horse is almost the time to sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and then but I don't know. Long for me, like long-term stocks always go up. And
Yeah.
then but they kind of go up on a staircase and then down in an elevator. So if you can kind of time it when it's uh falling, like you can make a lot of money, like in a short period of time, like shorting them or buying
Yeah.
puts or something like that. It's just you can't stay short. Like look how like the last week the market's just ripped, like up. Um, it's already like 50% back up. So yeah, so I mean that's the thing. The hard part is knowing when to get out too, when to cover. But yeah, I mean, trade desk didn't do too bad. I was short Nvidia, and I made I started at like 130, and it fell to like 94, and then
Oh,
now it's back to 122,
yeah.
like today.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. I think we'll see how it is tomorrow. It looks like we're gonna like maybe get a new all-time high, but usually the last stop is like 50. My coworker is really smart, right? Like there's this thing called like the golden ratio, right? Where there's certain levels where the stock market, like when you see a correction like that, like where it falls like a lot in a short period of time, he created an app, right? He'll just punch in where it started, where it ended, and it gives them those numbers, right? And I forget what they are. It's like
Are you talking about
18%, 33%, and then 50%, right? And
like levels? Is that what you're talking
what's that?
about?
The
Like
what?
Fibonacci levels, or
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah. So he created an app so I'm pretty sure we are like at the 50%, close to it. I'd have to look at it closer, but yeah, he watches those Fibonacci levels because they're like the golden ratios. Everything happens in nature for some reason off of them, and but it's a good way to play people's emotions, like
also wondered on that note, like obviously like things happen like to like in patterns even in real life, but at the same time everything's controlled now by supercomputers and like high frequency trading. So I wonder if like they actually program in, at this point we should sell and then buy back when it's down to like the 18 or 32% or whatever. Like they've got to be not only playing off of those typical trends in nature, but also inducing them themselves.
right. And I think there's also an aspect where I think that these computers and supercomputers, they can actually see orders. I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
if you remember what year it was. Like there's this guy and he was like spoofing the market, like doing all these fake trades, and he was making money doing it. But then the market like crashed, and I think he might even went to jail or something. But it was like the flash crash of like 2012. It was really weird. Procter and Gamble was down like 50% in one day, and they blamed it all on this one guy who had a computer and he was spoofing trades and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's that aspect too, where they
we
can see all the trades, and then but I do agree with you on it's all computer based now.
yeah,
Because
it's
like
different.
right now, like the market fell like 20% right now, and then it like automatically bounced off of there. And that's
Yeah,
why like sometimes I draw straight lines over the market, the top and the bottom, and it's like the computers kind of they will like test these levels, right? Like
like
like the like
resistance
the like the
boards.
20-day moving average, the 50-day.
Yeah.
Like so today we just hit the 50-day moving average on the Nasdaq, and
Okay.
sometimes
Probably have a
like
pull.
like the computer could start selling again like once it hits one of these levels, like I
Yeah.
think people program it in like that where for it to see certain levels and then just start selling or buying again, so we'll see. I think tomorrow if it blows past the 50-day, I think it's over. We're kind of right there, so We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, but even if it goes past it, it'll have a retrace where it comes back down and bounces off of it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I've
I
been
just
looking.
don't know. I kind of think that's the last level, but typically these things like to double bottom, like it'll retest that low that we just had, right? So
Yeah.
like
I
it'll
say
wanna
Nasdaq or SPY. You said Nasdaq, right?
I usually lately I've been following the SPY because I think that's the
I,
most.
yeah, I usually track SPY. That's kind of my typical one.
Yeah. So here's what I do. Go here. I love this site. So just do QQQ. I like looking at the and then do FinViz. So I like looking at the ETF, the broad ETFs, because people will draw
Yeah.
lines over them, like I'm saying there. So zoom in on that.
Oh yeah, I do a bunch of
See how
charting.
you draw a line on the bottom, a line on the top, right? So it actually perfectly hit that blue line and bounced off of it. You know what I mean? And so right now we're at the 50-day, which is the yellow line. So it's either going to reject here or it's going to shoot back up to like 520. So like me as a shorter, so like I covered at the bottom there when I was shorting Nvidia and I was shorting trade desk
Trade
and
desk.
stuff. Yeah. So
Eddie, fuck your company.
I covered right there, and like I was telling Eddie, my next spot where I want to short was actually like today. I put on a small short, and then if it blows through that, then I'll probably and that's sometimes where you get caught. Like I might want to ride it to like 520, but it might retrace like you're saying, I just don't know what the next level would be. Like my coworker looks at weird moving averages like 63 day, and there's so many of them, like 200
Weird.
day, 50 day.
Yeah.
The most common are like 20 day, 50 day.
Exactly what he has
day.
here. I see the 20, 50, and 200.
Yeah. So he looks at like the 63 day because he's like, I'm weird. And, but like, so what's going to happen here, in my opinion, it's either going to usually the market likes to retest the previous low, right? So, what level is that? I can't see. So about
425 ish.
yeah, so you
420.
could see it bounce back down to 425. And if it holds the line, that's super bullish, right? That would be like a double bottom, and then you start buying. Um, but it might just keep going. We actually got really good economic news, like retail sales was strong today, and then I didn't even look at initial jobless claims, but I think it was good too. But I kind of think the market was falling off. We were getting bad retail sales numbers. It kept falling, and then the initial jobless claims kept rising, and then today, and then plus inflation was like 2.9, which it's still coming down, so, but this is the stuff me and my coworker talk about, and we just kind of look at charts all day, and show each other and stuff like that. But yeah, for me here, it's either gonna retest that low or it's gonna shoot up to 520, and that's why I think tomorrow will be a big day, if because it could start up, and then if it just starts, say it's up like 2% tomorrow and then just starts selling off, it's not over, so
Yeah. I don't think I'm able to share my screen. No.
I think if I stop sharing,
Let's see.
I'll try.
Is it possible
Trevor was doing it
to do it from my
earlier.
phone? Zoom. No.
I mean, he made it sound like he had no problem sharing his screen.
Oh, share screen. There we go. All right, let's try that. You guys see it?
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's cool. Is that on your phone?
yeah, it is on my phone. So I didn't do anything recently, but you can see this is all the way back to, what is this date? 5/4/2020. So that was like the COVID crash. And then you can see I had this line. Let's take a look. No, I had this line drawn in for quite a while. This one right here. Back since this point right here. And it kind of was resistance, and then it fell back down, and it bounced perfectly right off of that, like last week or the week after. So that line. So that's kind of what I've been tracking. And
and there's a lot of volume there.
Yeah, that's a big volume spike. But I mean, look at that.
And then what do you have there?
2 days.
Is that Bollinger Bands? Is the
yeah, those are the Bollinger Bands.
Okay. Yeah, I like Bollinger Bands.
Yeah, there's a few
I
different.
I was in an investing class and he swore up and down, but usually when they get really close together, it's gonna like swing
Explode one way.
Yeah, or the other.
Yeah.
What are they tracking? Those bands.
I'm pretty sure it's volatility, kind of, like it has to do with volume per. I don't know.
I forget. You'd have to look it up, but
I like the MACD.
I thought it was like the mute. Yeah, the MACD. I follow a guy. He's like it kind of tells you like certain levels when it's oversold or not. You know.
Yeah, you can see right where it was down here. It was like way oversold because that gap in this area is pretty big, and then it's shot right back up, and now it's positive again with that green.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of these indicators is they're all lagging. So any information they're giving you is basically like, oh, well, you're probably 3 days late to act on it.
Mm-hmm. But so probably the most real time is like the jobs. That's why I think like
which one?
For like 5 weeks straight, we were getting bad like initial unemployment claims. And like unemployment was kind of spiking. So usually I forget what the term was, but
here we go.
You know, roller coaster ride.
Here's Trade Desk, Eddie. I've actually been spending a lot of time on yours.
Whenever we report earnings, I mean, that's when our trading windows open. Today, a lot of I think our RSUs vested. And we got to be careful not to like sell any of our stocks during times when we're not supposed to. Otherwise, we'll get busted for insider trading and stuff. So,
didn't you literally just sell some stock like today?
Yeah, but I guess that's fine to do that with that kind. But if I had sold any of the RSUs that vested today, it would have been too soon or something. So,
monthly. Nope, GameStop's still down.
Can I share my screen or what?
What's that?
Can I share my screen or what?
Let me see. Yeah, let me unshare my screen. There you go.
Multiple can share at the same time now. I just made the setting.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you even do it?
There's a share button. Share at the bottom.
Screen?
Go to the bottom and just hit share. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make sure I ain't got no porn sides up or nothing, you know?
That's the gold content. Come on. Got to catch you in that.
Am I sharing or no?
I don't.
Not yet. Hold on.
We'll be right back.
You guys there?
Yeah, I'm here, but I don't see the share.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna. You see it now? Your buddy leave?
I think he's going to the bathroom.
Getting something to drink. Some Arizona.
Those mine share? Mine's not my screen.
I see someone's screen.
Is it?
That was mine.
Oh. Is it sharing?
Yeah, you are now.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
So this is what I've been following.
You can move me out of the side. So if you swipe over where you see me, it'll push me out of the way so you can see.
Oh yeah, I heard you know about reverse repos and all the bullshit that it is.
Yeah. Not really, but this is kind of what I've been following. I wish
Yeah,
it would.
they were at $2 trillion.
Yeah, let me see if I can just do.
So tell us, how much is the government fucking us by lending out our money in microtransactions and making
Yeah,
millions
so
of dollars?
what's interesting though with this is so like they've never really done that much like reverse repo, like you only usually really see it in like times of crisis, like here in 2020 when there was that COVID crash. So it's usually when the Fed's like doing like QE, they try and put like a bottom on short term. Um,
But didn't they kind of stop doing that? I thought they stopped doing a lot of QE last
yeah,
year, kind of phased it out a bit.
yeah. So this is what's interesting though. So like at its height here, it got to like 2.2 trillion.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So I don't know if you could bring up can you guys bring up um a NASDAQ chart or no? I guess I can.
Yeah, I can.
Viking, you guys lost your QB.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, if I knew that, I could probably get some charts and shit ready. Like if we do that, I usually just go here, but
Yeah, we'll often talk about some of this stuff, but I was thinking, I was like, I don't want to be trying to have a podcast of like financial shit because half of us only know barely
yeah,
anything actually
yeah.
how markets actually work. Like,
Yeah, so like around here, so see the market. Remember, like 2 years ago, 2022, the Fed was raising rates, and then the market was like crashing, and then it bottomed like September of 22. There, you see where I'm showing here.
yeah,
So the Nasdaq hit like six, or the nat. Well, this is the S&P, right? So it hit 3,585 at the low around June. So if you go to the reverse repo,
Is the reverse repo expansionary or contractionary policy?
so the Fed's kind of absorbing like cash, excess cash. So when they were doing QE, the banks couldn't take any more money type thing.
So it's
So
contractionary then?
so yeah, they kind of had to borrow from money market funds, right?
wasn't
So
there actually negative rates for a little bit?
yeah, and then that's where the Fed was paying. The Fed had to start paying zero on RRP to prevent negative rates,
Yeah,
and then that wasn't enough because these money market funds take a fee, like a small, just because we're there. So they had to raise it up to like 0.05%, right? And then they've sort of been manipulating the repo rate to bring um, rates up.
yeah.
Um, so, but the point is this got to like 2.2 trillion, right? And then if you look at CNBC,
And it's
so
basically the point of it is to just increase liquidity, right? Just so that there's like cash flow going because they were having issues.
yeah. So my chart doesn't go that far back, but it's around two. So this is where I thought we were gonna crash again. So around October of last year, like 2022, the Nasdaq was falling, right? Around 11. So this is where Janet Yellen, our treasury secretary, she started issuing all like treasury bills, right? And that's pretty much what RRP absorbs, right? So right here, right around that time, August 2023, there, she started issuing all bills. And that, look at our reverse repo ever since then. So she's been issuing like 90% treasury bills. So money markets right? They're kind of um this. So when the government borrows money, right? Um, they have to borrow it from certain places, right? So they were actually able to borrow a free $2.3 trillion right here, just issuing all treasury bills. And then that's where I don't know. This is where it gets like a little complicated, you know. So like if they issue like a bunch of longer dated like bonds, what was actually crashing us was rates were kind of like blowing out. You know, they were going higher, and it's because the government was auctioning off too many bonds, type of thing. And then that's what actually we've been. I think we've been able to recover. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at the 10-year here, so right, so COVID crash, they printed all this money, right?
Yeah.
And then rates were rising ever since until around 2026, right when around, so rates were rising heavily until June of 2023, right?
Uh,
That's what was kind of crashing us. And
this is the
then,
long term. Yeah, the 10-year.
yeah, this is the 10-year. So she was issuing all long-term debt, and it was raising yields because it's just supply and demand type thing. If you're gonna, so like right here, they did like 4 trillion during COVID, you know, and then um, rates were rising ever since, and it was kind of crashing us. But ever since like October of last year, um, they've been stable, right? Like they peaked out actually then. See, like October of 2023 was the peak. And that's because she's been issuing all treasury bills since October of last year. Um, and
When did the yield become less than the short term?
she's been borrowing from this for the last year, which has stabilized the market, right? So at some point, they're going to have to borrow a lot of money, you know, at the long end. And I think it's going to crash us. But just because they've raised spending so much since COVID, you know, like they're going to
I mean,
have to.
there's been a ton of indicators that they're basically just delaying the inevitable. They've been propping up the markets, putting tons of money into them just to keep everyone from panicking. And it can work for multiple years. I mean, look at 2008. It took, you know, multiple years of junk bonds being sold for all those mortgage like what they call the CDOs or what, I don't know.
Yeah, mortgage-backed securities and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Which was like that was going on for a while, and then it took a while actually until like 2008 and 9 for it to actually like blow up in everyone's face.
Yeah. So now if you look at like Fed, reverse, repo, um, so there's only, like, you look at today's operation, there's only 300 billion left she can borrow from Yellen. So she could issue 300 billion in treasury bills, right? So the government's running $1 trillion deficit, right? Each quarter.
Yeah.
So
Each quarter, it's that much right now.
yeah, pretty
Jesus
sure.
Christ.
You could check me on that, but so this quarter they're projected to so 307 billion. She can issue 307 billion this quarter without moving treasury rate. You know what I mean? So if you
Yeah.
go to the TBAC uh, refunding, TBAC quarterly refunding, and then look at the most recent documents for the treasury, um, you can kind of see recent refunding. So this is July. Um, I think that's the most recent one. Sorry, I would have like some charts like ready and stuff if you guys were interested in this, but I don't know. But anyways, they drop like quarterly, like what they plan on borrowing, you know? So here's the third quarter. Okay, so this quarter, you guys seen it?
No, wait, why is your screen black?
Oh, it's black now?
I see it now.
Okay, so the Treasury expects to borrow 740 billion this quarter, right? So that has to come from somewhere, right? Like it's gonna have to come from a bank, like the stock market, like people are gonna have to sell something to fund it type thing. So 740 billion, like she only has what I said, 300 billion left, where she could just do um T-bills, right? Um, so that's kind of what they're doing, right? Like the Fed controls short term. So are you seeing my thing right here?
Yeah.
So the Fed controls the 6 month, the 3 month, the 2 month, the 1 month. They kind of set it with their policy and their target range, right? So right now we have a deep inversion. So the 1 month yields 5.36. You see that at the top?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the 10-year yields 3.9. So what people mostly follow the 2 year, which is 4.07, and the 10-year. So they're inverted, right? So long-term rates should always be higher than short-term rates.
When did
Yeah,
it flip?
there's no incentive to go long term.
What's that?
When did it flip?
It's been, dude, this is the longest inversion we've had since the Great Depression.
Shit.
It's been
It
over
flipped.
500 days. It's been over like 500 days that we've been inverted like this. And like all the time, the 30-year and the 10-year are higher than the 1 month because banks borrow short term and they lend long term. So how the fuck do you make money? You know, how do you make money borrowing at higher rate and then lending it out at lower, you know, type of thing. So when the market started crashing just recently, the 10 and the 2-year just started uninverting. They got closer to each other, right? And then most recently, what you've seen. So this is what's fucking interesting, dude, is the 6 month here. So the high end of the Fed's target range is 5.6%, right? You see how right here it was 5.59
Yeah.
in um in October. You know, and then right here it started 5.3% is the Fed's reverse repo rate. That's where they're trying to keep it at, right? And then most recently when we had that crash, so 5 point right here, it was at the Fed's target range, 5.31. It's like we're getting rate cuts. We already have rate cuts, dude. It fell to 4.84. Like that's 3 rate cuts, dude. Because the high end of the Fed's range is this 5.6, right? And then the whole time the market's recovered, we're back up to 5% now, you know? So for some reason, the Fed lost control there, I feel like in that most recent correction. And then if you look at currencies here, um, the USD, JPY. So this is the yen carry trade right here. It was unwinding. So around the same time when the Fed lost control, um, the yen was collapsing at 161, and then it just fucking fell off a cliff right here. See that? To 146.
Well, and that happened because a bunch of people were borrowing when it was like low or high or whatever, and then it was a problem, and then they had to sell a lot of their stock in order to like pay for their debts, something like that.
Yeah.
Because it appreciated against the USD, and then that's where that peak happened, and then it just
So like I read a book by George Soros, right? And you know, basically like when you look at currencies, like something that I always follow is the Dixie. Do you guys are you familiar with the Dixie or
No.
okay, so the Dixie takes like the where's it at? The USD index. So this kind of takes the top 7 like countries, and it's a weighting of their value versus the US dollar, right? So, but for some reason, the euro is like a big weighting of this. So, kind of around July, the dollar really started to weaken. It got down to like 102. Um, so, and that's why, like, you look at gold. If you look here at gold, like gold's like 2,500. It's been like jumping.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're kind of going, if the dollar keeps weakening, so like this is what happened with this is what's cool about you can kind of jump around and look at all this shit on the CNBC app, like even other countries. So this is what happened. So the Japan, right, has always had negative interest rates. You see that? Negative 0.14.
How does a negative interest rate even work? If I give you money, you pay me to take it? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, so you buy a house for 100,000, you'd get a loan for more. Like they basically pay you to borrow.
Okay.
Right. So for years and years, dude, like you look at this. There's a weird anomaly there in 14, I guess, but I mean they've always kind of kept a negative interest rate until recently. Like they got a new guy in there, and he was trying. So here's the 1 month, right? So they were at 0, right? So they've been at 0%. You see this right here? So when the Fed says they're gonna hike, they control these rates like the bills. So it's just kind of been chilling about 0 here. Well, they said that they're gonna hike like a quarter point, which makes it so when the central bank hikes, it's in quarter points, right? Like 0.25.
Japan's gonna hike it
Yeah. So when Japan's at 0 here, you see how they're at 0 and they hike
up to a quarter.
a quarter. One hike is a quarter, right? So as the okay,
points
so the market started crashing on that news, right? Like around here. So Japan was trying to they got as high as 0.21, right? Almost the full quarter point. And then they were like, oh shit, no, we might not hike, because their market was down 12% in one day. And then ours was down 6% that one day. And then Japan came out, and when they said, oh, because look, and then it fell back down to 0.09, right? So they almost had to give up on their hike because it fucked something up. And then, nobody knows how big this yen carry trade is. I've seen people say it's like 20 trillion. I've heard JP Morgan say it's like 75% unwound. But no one really knows. There's not like any data on it. But what was really happening, I think, is that for years, Japan had negative interest rates, right? So if you're living in Japan, you could, like you were saying, how does that work, right? You would get a loan for 100,000, but then they'd actually pay you like 125,000, right? And then you'd go out and buy U.S. stocks that actually yield positive carry, yield. And then no one knows how much of this was going on, but when news came that we were going to cut interest rates and they were still hiking, their currency really strengthened versus the dollar, right? It got a lot really strong quick, like I showed you on that chart. So it was collapsing versus ours, and then it got really strong as all this shit was going on. And so this is something to keep your eye on. So the USD JPY. So as we were crashing, right, it bottomed at 144 there. That's when the selling stopped. And it's been marching higher the whole time the market's been ripping. Like today it was like 149. But then today it's down like 0.21. So if this goes the other way, dude, I get out of the market, honestly, because we
Dude,
don't know how big this thing is, you know? Like, if you look at this on a historic chart, like, this could fall all the way down to, like, 70s,
yeah.
right? And that would mean, like, if it's this, our market's gonna fall the whole time this is doing that, like, um, I don't know.
What so correlated with Japan and
'Cause
their policy?
So, because Japan, um, can their central bank owns like 70% of ETF over there, right?
Okay.
So that they act so like our central bank can't really go out and buy stocks. It can go out and buy like bonds and debt, but it can't buy assets. So like the Bank of Japan can, or at least they have been through ETF, you know.
Mhm.
But then their pension, not yet. I don't know. But their pension, so if you're like working for Japan or you're in Japan, um, um, you know, like a certain percentage of your retirement goes into US assets, right?
Yeah.
So their pension fund actually owns US stock. So that's where, like, if they get margin called or something's going, I think someone big got margin called over there, and that just everything was unwinding, you know, and then they had to like back off everything they were doing, and everything's been fixed ever since. But it's
You
one
can
of the,
write on my screen.
Apparently, I didn't realize I was doing.
I didn't
I
realize
was I
I was
doing
still
it?
sharing it. Oh, you're like drawing on my
How did
screen
I do
right now.
that?
I did.
No, I did. I don't even
Uh,
know what
uh,
I did. I was just trying to cursor, and all of a sudden, I was just like drawing on lines on Eddie's screen.
yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah.
I
So
didn't
is my
even-
screen is? Can you guys still see my screen or no?
No,
No, yours disappeared.
I think you
Oh,
still sharing.
just
I was
recently or
looking
what?
back at yours, and I was drawing on Eddie's.
Yeah, just recent.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot of, I don't know. Nobody really knows how big this thing or if it's even over, but I think like it'll start going the other way when you kind of least expect it, you know, because like now everyone's an expert on the yen carry trade and shit. Like as this was going on, like I was talking about it all year. And then you turn it on CNBC and like everyone's an expert now all of a sudden, you know. So that's kind of when you know it might be over, but I almost don't think it will
I
be
don't.
over.
It's not over until we get a massive market correction because they've just been pumping it up and freaking for years now.
Mhm. And you know, you never know because like they so what's happening to them is their currency was 161, that means they were almost in hyperinflation, you know, like where
Yeah.
their currency was collapsing. So, you know, it could take it to get to 161 again before they're like, oh shit, like we do need a hike, you know? And then the problem is this has been negative interest rates so long. We don't know how much like risky behavior was, you know, how many people were actually taking too much advantage of it, you know, type of thing.
Yeah. But even if they don't hike anything, I feel like our Federal Reserve is stuck. From what I keep hearing, it's like if they raise rates, we go into recession. If they don't, if they lower rates, I don't remember how it goes, but like
Seems like they're thinking they're gonna raise them.
I kind of think they are stuck right now, honestly, because they're obviously like the charts I showed you. They kind of at least temporarily lost control of short term rates, you know, which should never happen. Um, but they're data dependent now, right? Um, so as data comes out, they base their decisions off of that. But like he was saying earlier, all this shit's lagging,
it's
you
all
know.
lag.
You know, so they're actually looking at stuff from like last month and making decisions off that. And I actually think they're trying to let the market do um everything for them right now because usually they give forward guidance, right? And they cut out forward guidance and they're data dependent, which means as this stuff comes out, the market kind of moves off of what news comes out. Like you'll see yields go up or down based on like what they think. And it's been good, but I actually think they're stuck.
Yeah.
Like they can't really. And okay, so I kind of have a theory where so the Fed's lost like $190 billion, and that's never happened in the history of the Fed, them losing money. So they only do that so their average yield on the assets is like 2.7%, right? And then they're paying out over 5% now. So they're losing money. But
because of the rates, right? Because they're
because
too high.
they're paying out more on their liabilities than they're getting on their assets, right? Because they're buying bonds with QE that are low yielding. So like the average yield on their bonds or their treasury portfolio is like 2.7%. And then they're paying out to banks right now over 5%. So they're losing money. Like so they've lost like $190 billion.
How do they recoup that? Is it the treasury that help bail
So
them out?
it's like an IOU right now. So like as that money comes in, as they start making money in the future, they'll just not give it to the treasury
Oh,
department.
okay. So the
That's
treasury.
Usually all their excess funds goes to the treasury, right? They've paid the treasury billions over the year and they can't right now because they've lost money.
what we hear about the people that control our money is they are writing IOUs because they can't keep up.
Well, like even the inception of money, like it's just created. I mean, the treasury and the Fed, they're just like one's writing an IOU to the other one, and then they're just like, all right, we'll print it up.
I mean,
Yeah.
but it's definitely just created, right? They printed like half of all the money in existence within a couple of years.
Yeah, and COVID, and I think that's why. So I kind of think they've reached their where they can, um, the maximum that they can do because like during COVID when they were trying to print all that money, they had to start. The banks started turning away deposits, right? So all that money had to go into money market funds. And because it couldn't go anywhere, it had nowhere to go to. That's why you saw a reverse repo rise so much to like $2.3 trillion. But the government's been borrowing from that like recently, which has kind of stabilized the treasury market, which is stabilized like the stock market type of thing. So, but yeah, I do think that my opinion I think everything's going to fall when they cut rates is because they're, they're, they're actually printing a lot of money with high rates, right? Like they've lost 190 billion because they're paying out too much money on their assets, right? Like they're paying banks dividends. They're losing money on reverse repo, and then they're paying interest on excess reserves. So I actually think all that money has been propping us up that they're losing, right?
Oh yeah.
So when they cut, I think it like part of me thinks